Hello, I'm Jason Lightoller from Woodside. Today I'm going to show you how to do a very quick open and close cast on using a European Singer Superba style knitting machine. So what I'm going to do is just bring a few needles out all the way forward to position 3, which is holding position.
And this is the open cast on method. So I'm just going to take a cast on comb and hang it onto the needles here. And I'm just going to put the guide wire in so that the cast on comb is secure.
Like that. And then what I'm going to do is just thread the carriage up, and just before I do that I'm just going to show you that I've put a clothes pecker there on the end of the yarn tail because you do need to keep it secure. So the carriage is threaded up and I've got it set to stocking stitch. So what I'm going to do is just reduce the tension down a little bit just for this first row. I would normally use this yarn, which is a UK 4-ply yarn, and I would normally knit this at tension 7. So just for this first row, I'm going to do this at tension 5. I'm going to close the beds now, and what I'm going to do is just gently lift this cast on comb up a little bit, and I'll zoom in just to show you. So I'm not going to lift it all the way up like that. I'm just going to lift it probably about half the way, and I'm going to just move it so it's angled towards the back bed slightly. So let's lift it halfway up, and then I'm going to go across with the carriage. And as you can see, it's wrapped around the needles there on every needle. I'm going to drop the comb and I'm going to hang a weight at each end. So that's the first row. I'm now going to go back up to normal tension and we literally just carry on knitting. So I'll just break that. We will remove the weights and I'm going to take it off the machine.
And I'll show you what it looks like at the end after I have demonstrated the close cast on method.
So now what we're going to do is a close cast on, and as you can see what I've done is I've brought every alternate needle into work and left the empty needles out of work at the back of the beds there. So again what I'm going to do is just hang the cast on comb and we're going to just put the guide wire in. I've got the carriage thread up, but this time I'm going to reduce the tension right down for this very first row, and I'm going to tighten it right up. So what I would do is put this perhaps on tension 3, because what we're going to do is just do one pass across, but just as before we're going to raise this cast on comb and tilt it towards the back of the knitting machine, and again just as last time it's only raised halfway, not all the way up like that, but about halfway. And we're going to go across slowly, and as you can see there is a stitch on every needle hook there. I'm going to drop the comb and hang the weights. And now what I'm going to do, the empty needles on the back bed I'm going to bring forward in line with the needles that are already in work. So just bring those forward. We're going to loosen the tension up to normal garment tension, and we're going to go across once, and we do that first row slowly, and then you just knit along for however many rows you need. And then what I'm going to do is just take this off the machine and show you the two results. So this is the closed cast on edge that we've done. As you can see, it's totally closed up here. It will not come undone ever.
It gives a loose closed edge cast on, but it will never ever come undone.
And here is the open cast on method that we used when we had every needle in work. And this is the only time that I would use this one if I just needed to cast on in waste yarn. As you can see, the loops are open and they do unravel. So these two methods I only ever use if I need to cast on in waste yarn. The closed cast on method I would use if I'm making a tension swatch or something like that.
The open cast on method I use if I need to cast on in waste yarn, which is going to be removed at a later point.
But anyway, I hope this was useful because it's a very quick way of using a waste yarn cast on.